We put memo out. We Kuchin? Ooh! Alright, here we go. Let's see those tears. Or those cheers. Which is it? Tears or cheers, chat? Memo version 246, New Age update clarification. Oh, a clarification. Let's see if they completely are changing their standpoint or they're just clarifying what the existing standpoint was. We understand there are a lot of concerns about information that was recently revealed regarding the version 246 New Age 6 update. First, we would like to truly apologize for causing concern due to the lack of prior information regarding New Age's 6 job content. We would like to clarify the development intentions for the parts our Maplers are currently worried about and share future plans. Soul Erda, as we prepare for the 6 job advancement update, our goal was to provide motivations to our players for character growth and enhancement, as well as provide content that players would be able to use actively and flexibly without being limited to only mobbing. We wanted to consider the appropriate daily material acquisition rate and method, taking into consideration our existing players' behavior, while also taking into account the difficulty level where newer players wouldn't feel like it would be too much of a hurdle. We wanted to mitigate the negative aspects to the gameplay experience, such as illegal tool usage or paying for services but for other players to farm that occurs as a result of having an acquisition method that was mainly focused on mobbing. Okay, they're already saying way more and going way more into detail on why they're doing things than the Maple Sea announcement, so I already like this better so far. With these goals in mind, we wish to lower the burden that our players might feel regarding playtime and increase the accessibility for casual players by distributing a Soul Erda energy and a Soul Erda fragment through the daily quest. Okay, but everyone likes that because that's just bonus extra, right? But now the real thing. Additionally, we added a daily cap because we wish to narrow the gap that depended on playtime between the hardcore players and those who could not dedicate as much time to the game. Yeah, that's understandable, but you'd also know how the people who really want to play the game a lot, who are like stuck in endgame with nothing else to do than weekly bosses, would be totally upset with that. We're planning to monitor the actual acquisition time of our players, the playtime, and adjust the cap as needed. After they put it into the game, if we didn't see it. We understand that seeing changes like this being shown in gameplay videos and streams without detailed context from our team has caused a lot of anger and frustration with you all. Okay, so far this is pretty good in terms of how they're addressing it. I'd like to apologize to our Maplers once again, since the design intention for this part has not been explained enough in advance. Regardless of the design intentions, we understand that there are many aspects to these changes that you are understandably concerned about. So in addition to the daily quest that will remain, we will remove the cap and explore separate improvement measures for parts that could be harmful for the gameplay experience. Okay. Also, we would like to share that we have no plans to release a Soul Erda booster at the same time as a 6 job advancement update. We will review the progress of player 6 job advancement and determine if and when there is a need to further augment the ways in which players can obtain Soul Erda. Yeah, I always thought that if they were going to implement it, it might be a non-reboot, not a reboot, and or like later as like a catch-up mechanic. But yeah, again, looking at KMS and looking at exactly at what they're getting is just, if you want to be like Super Doomer and all of that, you can. I don't think it's super productive. You're going into debt this Black Friday? Well, don't do that. Don't pawn off your car or get a second mortgage on your house yet just for the Black Friday. Frenzy Totem. We would like to confirm that, contrary to some information being circulated in the community, Frenzy Totems were always planned to function as they normally do outside of instance maps, and that is intended to remain the same in the New Age update. There was a bug in our test server regarding this functionality, and we did not properly address the situation before the information was discovered and spread within the community. Exactly. Another reason why, just because something happens in a test server, that you shouldn't immediately lose your fucking head instantly. As mentioned in version 246 patch notes released yesterday, the instance maps are provided during the New Age patch duration for the Sacred Power fields, and the way the Frenzy Totem works in these instance fields are as follows. Frenzy Totem effects will only apply to the hunting map of the character that used the Frenzy Totem. The effect will disappear once the character leaves the instance map. That all makes sense, in my opinion. We understand this kind of communication should have come out sooner, and the context for why we made these changes should have been delivered at the same time we announced them. We hope this memo can, at the very least, give you insight into how we implement design changes to our service. This is Mjolnir of the MapleStory team. Oh, and it is Mjolnir as well. Okay. Written by Vera, but it's signed by Mjolnir, so that's good. Yeah. So the box was a typo, like you said. Cap removed, booster was not even something that they were going to implement, like I thought as well. Yeah. Cool, I guess. Yeah, Frenzy Totem I don't have access to. So I guess what this was just that's just like an extra effect from the fact that they are instance map, yeah. So for people like Nero, that's going to put that's gonna like double, slightly more than double how much time he's expected to take to get to 300. But he's gonna be able to get more EXP on the higher level maps, and there's not 1, not 2, but 3 extra areas coming out pretty quickly. So he might catch up to those rates in a little bit, but Frenzy Totem is really good. So I don't think he's going to catch up to those rates, but it's not going to like straight up double or more than double how long it takes, yeah. So the one thing I'm missing here, and I think the one thing that needs to be addressed still, is how they will... I think there needs to be an extra address here on what they will do. Oh, his own Frenzy Totem. Oh, yeah. If he has his own Frenzy Totem, then he'll be totally fine. Yeah. Sorry. I guess with the amount of hours he puts in, at this point, he should have already gotten one, right? Yeah, untradeable Soul Erda, I don't see that addressed. And the other thing is just in general the situation with the Beam Brigaders and how they plan on... Do they plan on changing how they communicate with Beam Brigade? Do they plan on... With the people who said that they would leave or have left or something? Did they plan on doing something there with... I don't know. It feels like they need to do something there. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe on a case-by-case basis with the people who were like involved in all of it. But it seems like there was... Yeah, I don't know. It was a more... I feel like more of an expected response if they're that close and that much in line, in sync with what the more vocal part of the community wants to say. So I'm not sure if you can really hold them like to a negative in that, right? So I feel like there needs to be a little bit more of a... But maybe that'll be more of an internal discussion within the Beam Brigade. I'm not sure. But there should probably also be... There should definitely be like also a public statement on that, on what they plan to do with that in the future. Because I assume that most people in the community, because of how the discussion, a lot of it centered like around the Beam Brigade members, how a lot of that was handled, and how they were involved in certain ways, that should be addressed as well for the future. If they want to keep the project up, and if they want new members to come in, or members who are in to feel more secure with their stuff and in their relationship with Nexon, right? So there'll probably be some more stuff there, but I hope also a public statement from them. Yeah, other than that, actual rejoice. We can now finally say that the fight was won and that the cap was officially removed. So plus 1, I guess. Sorry. W Memo, I believe, is what they say. So the hype is now officially back, I would say. Not for me, I don't really care that much, but for most people. So that's cool for all you guys. And Stonk's Memo. Does MapleSea have the booster? Yeah, MapleSea got the booster right away, yeah. Yeah, we'll see what they do. There was, if you get like just the KMS stuff, there is also a way for non-reboot to buy a little bit of extra Erda. I forgot which one of the Erdas it was, but I think you can buy a little bit of Erda as well. Like a limited amount per month, I believe, for real money. Only a non-reboot, but it's not a crazy amount of thing. Surprised they removed the booster. They didn't remove the booster. They never implemented the booster. Nobody removed the booster, right? MapleSea said they were going to implement it, and they implemented it. GMS never said they would implement it, and they didn't implement it. So nobody removed it. And KMS never But KMS probably had the design as well, but they never... There it was never leaked or mentioned or in tests or anything, yeah. Why aren't we getting the booster? Don't they want your money? They're dumb, dude. They don't want your cash. So yeah, like I said in the beginning, organizing and fighting for your rights as a consumer has helped. So good job. Maybe next time, you know, a little bit less volatility, a little bit more productive in the right ways, a little bit less lashing out to people who aren't even against you, who you think aren't doing anything, but also don't reach anyone. So why harass them? Just, you know, work on productively trying to make change instead of destructively, maybe for next time. But, you know, same thing happened last time with totems. I'm assuming same thing will happen next time as well. Fuck the no spend movement, too weak of a movement. Yeah, for people who don't know, I've never spent a single cent on this game, and until I feel like the game deserves my money, I never will. That's hasn't changed before. I don't see that changing in the near future, especially not when I've got all that juicy Beam Brigade NX just sitting in my cash shop that I can't even spend on anything because Belgian law actually cares about online gambling for minors, but that's a whole other topic. But yeah, glad I supported everyone through the time for your rights to protest. Definitely do that. But yeah, don't lash out to people who are supporting you. Stay productive, build up good stuff, reach out to proper channels, and get stuff done. All right, hype is back, and hopefully everyone is hyped. But like I said, few things left here and there, so hopefully those get addressed either privately or publicly. But I think something public about Beam Brigade is probably still in the works. But yeah, let me know what you think about the whole situation, I guess. And thumbs up, W, big W. Right, chat? Big W. Can I get W's in the chat? W, Memo. There we go. That's an M, that's an upside down W. Okay. Look at all those W's, guys.